Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Can we talk with Monique? I am Monique. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys are doing well. To all those who are new, welcome. And those who've been here before, thank you for joining. So I tried to do a pictorial of NeNe Leakes, and I hope this looks a little bit like her, but the sign says I owe taxes. And the only reason why I'm doing this story is because it's tax time. And I talked about in another video, and I listed above about some of the tax scams that they have out here. So, and it came up in my feed, I guess because I was doing videos on taxes because it's tax time. People are going to get their taxes done, getting their tax refunds, maybe going on vacation, paying off their debt, you know, buying furniture, whatever the case may be, right? But it came up in my feed that NeNe Leakes, and I don't cover like the Real Housewives of Atlanta or anything like that, or celebrity real news like that. But NeNe Leakes, she was hit with a 5-figure state tax execution. And owing taxes is not a good thing, but I think NeNe can come out of this. But let me read to you the article, okay? Former Real Housewives of Atlanta star NeNe Leakes has been going through a tough time. NeNe seemingly is not going back to Bravo. And her career has slowed down a little bit. And I'm reading this article. It says, unfortunately, what didn't slow down were NeNe's financial issues, and now she's got tax problems. But I think she can come out of it. If it says here, NeNe was the unlucky recipient of some legal documentations from the Georgia Department of Revenue, and those are state taxes, not the federal taxes. And that's good. Hopefully she doesn't owe federal, and maybe she can make a plan or something to get out of this. She received a state tax execution showing that NeNe Leakes owed $17,785.22. The amount covered taxes over several years, right? So it says the legal papers also listed Lenithia LLC, which is reportedly linked to her lounge in Georgia. I'm not sure if it's still open. No, it says the establishment has closed. It says now NeNe's debt has ballooned because of fees and interest to about $28,593.24. Y'all, interest, fees that accrue on back taxes, it is ridiculous. So she started out with 17,000 and now it's at 28,000. So I'm hoping that she'll be able to go and get this taken care of, sell a pocketbook or something. I'm not sure. But it says, but that's not all. NeNe's former landlord at her swag boutique sued her, and she was ordered to pay $25,000 in the lawsuit. The landlord alleged that NeNe signed a lease back in 2017. In 2021, she extended it by 1 year, and then the shop closed in 2022, which she owed $22,000 in rent. So maybe it's $3,000 more in fees, interest, or maybe legal fees. I'm not sure. But you know, unfortunately, her husband died, Greg Leakes, in 2021. But I'm hoping, you know, excuse me, with tax time coming around, maybe she'll be able to make some sort of arrangement, or maybe she has some assets that she could sell and just get rid of the bill, you know, altogether. But I want to say to you, if you're having some problems with your taxes, I don't know about at the state level, but I do know for the federal level. Say, for instance, you became sick or ill, or, you know, maybe you were the wife that stayed at home and your husband as the breadwinner, I don't know, you guys owe taxes together and somehow his income was lost, or unfortunately, maybe he passed away and you don't know what to do. I'm going to say to you, call the IRS. Good luck with finding somebody, but be persistent and call them. And there's a status that they can designate you as. And I didn't know this until about 7 years ago. It doesn't mean that they don't want their money. By all means, Uncle Sam wants all of their money, but there's a designation of uncollectible, which means they can't collect it. Now, if you have assets, they will, put a lien on it. I don't know what's going on in my throat. They will put a lien on it. However, if you have, you know, income coming in, a bank account, savings, they won't issue any garnishments for your check, and they won't issue any liens like for your bank account. So that way you're able to live. Now, if you have assets like a home, they may still put a lien on your home, but at least your income is coming in. Your savings is not, because, federal government, they can just one full swoop take whatever they want. They have jurisdiction to just come in and, levy your bank accounts and levy your income. So if you're sick and you're not able to work, or there's a situation, please call the IRS. Like I said, I don't know if that's the same for the state, right? But I know for sure for the federal government, there's a status called Uncollectible, and that can help you still maintain your income, getting your income coming in, your paychecks, your savings that you have in your account. Like I said, if you do have a house, they may still issue a lien, but it still allows you to be able to maintain your income, pay your bills, without somebody leveling your whole savings or, different things of that nature. So I think NeNe, I don't know what you guys think, but I think she might be able to, if she has some income left or some assets, maybe she can sell some stuff and get rid of this $28,593 bill from the state of Georgia. And Georgia is very good with collecting their back taxes. Most states are, most local areas are, but all I'm saying is she owes some taxes. Hopefully she'll be able to pay her stuff back. Let me show this over. I tried to look at this picture, and this is the picture I was trying to imitate when I did the picture of her, the pictorial. So I know she likes the blonde hair, so I was trying to do that to make it look like NeNe, but that was the best I could do. But anyway, yes, she owes taxes. Y'all pay your taxes. If you've ever owed the IRS, it's not a joke to owe money to the Internal Revenue Service. They have leeway to levy all type of things, and they'll just go and levy it. And a lot of people, I know several people who've had to pay taxes back, and they will garnish your check. I think I'm not sure if they did that with Shirley Strawberry. I'm not sure. But they can and will garnish your wages if you don't pay them back. And the interest accrues, if I'm not mistaken, daily. So I've had people say, you know what, go take out a loan and go and pay the IRS, because it's not worth having that bill hanging over your head. I know someone who was a real estate agent, and how things go. They get a lot of money, but you got to have an accountant on deck to help you pay your stuff. And this particular real estate agent, she had a big tax bill, and having to pay installments. It's good when you can pay it, but it's hard to pay that stuff down unless you have like a lump sum of money. If you don't have a lump sum of money, it's almost like you're just hitting the interest daily. And the IRS will advise you, if you can go take out a loan or borrow it from somebody, do that. That way you'll be able to pay it off faster. If I'm not mistaken, I think this person is still on a payment plan with the Internal Revenue Service. It's not a joke, guys, owing the IRS money. I don't care if it's federal, state, it is not a joke. So for all you folks that are out there getting your income tax done, the only advice that I would have is just to keep up to date with it. File your taxes on time. Don't let anything, by law, I think it's a law, you got to file your taxes every year. Don't fall behind with doing your taxes or filing them, because the IRS wants their money. And if you don't file, that doesn't negate you from owing. They'll go ahead on and retroactively charge you interest from the time you should have filed. So if you didn't file for some years, they don't care. I think they'll accrue interest from the time you should have filed. So say like if you were supposed to file in 2022 and you just decide, okay, I'm going to file in 2024. Well, they're going to retroactively, that interest that you owe from back then, they're going to add that into the lump sum. So it's best just to do that. I've had experience with the IRS. It is not a fun situation. I was fortunate enough to be able to pay stuff off and get it out of my hair, but it's not a fun situation. But hopefully 28,000, it's a lot of money to me, but maybe to, NeNe Leakes, maybe it's not a lot of money, but $28,593.24 is what she owes. And maybe, I don't know, if a Birkin bag, if she can sell it or auction it off. I don't know how much those things cost, but I heard those bags cost a lot. If she can get rid of it and get rid of the tax bill, it will probably really help her out. And I just want to know from some of you guys, have you owed any back taxes? It's not a fun thing. I mean, owing taxes to the government is not. And that designation is called Uncollectible, where they will not proceed with levying your bank account or garnishing your check. You got to get in contact with them. I think there's paperwork that you have to fill out. You have to prove it to them that you are uncollectible at the time, and then you'll be able to move forward, hopefully with your life, and, maybe set up some sort of arrangement or get your finances in order. But if you're things happen, guys, unforeseen things happen to people, and they end up owing money, and, some unforeseen tragic things happen. And it's not inconceivable that a woman, who's a housewife, if the husband hasn't told her all of the finances, if he's deceased, they're going to come after her, because you really do become one, especially with the finances. They'll be looking at her to pay those taxes off. Those are debt. You know what I mean? So I would just say, the bottom line is this: pay your taxes on time, file them on time. I think Lenithia, aka NeNe Leakes, hopefully she'll be able to pay these off and get her taxes, in order. But yes, it's called Uncollectible. It is an actual status with the Internal Revenue Service. I will call them and ask them. I never heard of it. No one's ever told me about that. But I was able to talk to a representative at the IRS some years back, and that status was told to me that could be given to someone who basically didn't have any cash, any money. Maybe you're sick or you're ill and you don't have any money coming in, just your disability, and it's just covering your mortgage or something like that, but you owe taxes. Call them, and that status, they will mark your account. They won't levy your bank account. They won't, because I think they have jurisdiction over Social Security benefits. I think, now don't get me, I don't know, but I'm thinking they do. I think they have jurisdiction over Social Security benefits. I think they have jurisdiction over disability benefit. I think they have jurisdiction over it all, child. I don't know. But imagine if you just are hanging on by a thread and then you get your stuff levied. It would be really, really tough to survive. So that's why it's best, if you're going through a difficult financial time, and say if you want a payment plan right now with the IRS, but you are having a hard time financially, or maybe some medical issues with you or your family members, and you are hanging on by a thread, call them on the phone and ask them about being designated as uncollectible. They will give you a series, I think it's of questions they ask you, and it determines those questions, and then they will mark your account. It puts it almost like in a suspension status, so they will not levy. I'm telling you, they will not garnish your check, nor will they, it's the check, I think your bank accounts, say if you have savings or, stuff put away, they won't levy those, which they can, but if you're deemed uncollectible, now, what you owe don't go away. It just accrues interest. But at least you can, whatever situation you're in at that time, you could kind of crawl your way out of it, or at least try to see your way clear and not, end up destitute. Because basically that's what you are. If you're uncollectible, they're like, we can't collect this money. They barely have anything coming in. If we go ahead on and attach their wages or, attach anything or levy anything else, they won't be able to live. It's called Uncollectible. That is a thing with the Internal Revenue Service. Good luck with trying to find somebody. The best thing to do, I think, is to call them early in the morning and be the first one in line. And that way you'll be able to get to somebody, hopefully a human. I don't know if they have bots answering the phone with the Internal Revenue Service. I'm really not sure, but I think that I think it's worthwhile if you're going through something. You know, these things are not told to people, so they really don't always know. But, you know, keeping your finances in order is really important, and having a trusted attorney, not only attorney, but a trusted accountant who knows tax law and who does your taxes. You know, it's best to always have someone who can take care of those things so you don't get behind and you timely file and you don't get penalties and interest, because y'all, the penalties and interest can really, really cause a great deal of financial issues if you don't get that under control. So it's called uncollectible. It's a designated status, unless they've changed it, with the Internal Revenue Service. So y'all, NeNe owes taxes, but I think she'll be able to pay them back. Hopefully she will. And let me know down below if you guys have ever owed taxes. And if so, were you able to dig yourself out of the hole? What happened? Did you let somebody up the block do your taxes and then you end up owing? Let me know down below, okay? So I'm hoping NeNe Leakes will be able to go ahead on and pay her taxes and get that out of her hair. But let's chat down below. All right, y'all. And again, that designation is called uncollectible. Call the Internal Revenue Service and ask them about that. All right, y'all. Peace. And I'm out.